All right, today I want to talk about mental health and the black pill, my experience with therapy, things that have been going on recently which aren't good at all. I mean, this definitely isn't my year at all. In fact, this is probably one of the worst years yet. Anyone who tells you things get better with age, age pill is one of the most brutal ones for me, man. It really is. Like every birthday now is just a reminder, it's just another year wasted at this point. But there's even this dude at work, I want to say he's in his mid 40s and he thinks he's 20. He thinks he's 20 years old. Like he tries to talk to everyone, because the job I work, it's for young people. It's not an old person job. Like these are the type of jobs where it's like a starter job for when you're a kid in high school or going through college. Like this isn't an old person, you don't stay at these jobs if you're old. And this fucking guy is just trapped. It's seriously, it's like that movie, that Zac Efron movie, the 17 again. His brain and he just jester maxes, and no one gives a fuck about this guy. It's beyond brutal to me, man. I just cringe every time I hear him try to talk to one of us. And can you even imagine a 50-year-old dude, 50-year-old dude, taking a bunch of 21-year-olds to a bar? It's just cringe. Oh yeah, and that reminds me too, a couple weeks ago I went to the bar and I saw this old, and I was sitting next to these girls too, these two sisters. I didn't really talk to them much because I at this point, I really don't even I already know what's gonna happen. And of course the normies are gonna say, oh bro, you should have at least tried to get their number, and you should have at least, it's nah man, as a sub 5 male, it's just a completely different fucking world. I already knew what my cards were. It's like going into a battlefield with a piece of paper while everyone's got heavy artillery thinking, oh, I'm gonna try. It's dude, get the fuck out of there. It ain't gonna work. That's why I didn't say shit. I said 2 words, didn't fucking, because it ain't the 90s anymore. I don't know where the fuck, even my mom gives that shitty advice, go to a bar and maybe meet some chicks. It's the only reason I'd go to a bar is to get fucking hammered. There ain't no other reason. I ain't get fucking hammered and come home to my right hand. Seriously, it ain't the 90s anymore. You can't just go into a bar, bunch of women, single women. Even when I was there, it was, if there was a girl, she was accompanied by her boyfriend. But anyway, this old, oh my God. And and he was drunk too. And, it's funny because he kept saying, they told him, they're oh, we have boyfriends. I couldn't really hear it because it was loud as shit. But he kept saying, I think he was saying that they were lying or something, but they both pulled out their phones and pulled out their lock screens. And on both their lock screens, they both had pictures of them and their boyfriends. And he said some shit. He's oh, it's still going. It's I always never understood how you can be that clueless. These girls had the face of complete disgust. I don't understand how you can possibly be that oblivious to your situation. If I tell right away a girl is not in, within the first 5 seconds if a girl is attracted to you or not, if she still wants to keep talking to you. No game is required, no amount of, I know this bullshit, oh, you gotta be confident, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. Being confident, good personality, all a load of shit that these virtue signaling normies tell you. It's not gonna work. You're gonna know within the first 5 seconds if a girl's into you. And clearly this dude, and he tried to pull out his money, this fucking idiot pulls out a bunch of singles. Oh man, trying to, oh, I'm gonna run my game and show her how much money I have. It was the most fucking painful thing to watch. And the face of disgust one of the sisters had, it's just, it's how are you that clueless? Seriously, I don't even, I don't know, man. Oh, he just didn't try hard enough, and he just didn't, I feel most of these normies, I don't know how you can be in this oblivion. I don't know what's worse, sub 5s in denial, or, oh yeah, this is the thing too, not even that long ago, I just got home, around 5 minutes ago, I walked in, dropped my shit off, I'm about to go get something to eat, and my mom was watching that catfish show, and it was this, oh my God, it was over for this guy, and I can already predict the ending of the show. This dude was talking to a Giga Stacy, and I'm he's getting I swear to God, the black pill will save you. If you are a sub 5 male talking to a Giga Stacy who you think oh, am I getting catfish? You're getting catfish. Like, there's just no doubt about it. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you put 2 and 2 together. You know, because when people look at that, they know, like, okay, why is this 10 out of 10 Stacy with this 2 out of 10 Turbo Man? Like, this doesn't add up or make any sense. Like, people, like, they know, but for some reason, they just keep coping. Oh, it's real. I never get that, but, yeah, sub 5's in denial. I think it's like, if you're in a room that smells like shit, and you keep telling yourself, oh, it smells like flowers in here, it smells really good, you know, you just keep coping, and then until one day reality just smacks you in the fucking head. I mean, that's like, it's happened to me. Like, you can't cope that hard without reality. Like, reality has a very funny way of, you know, slapping you upside the head and telling you you're an idiot. You know, that's happened to me many times. But, you know, what I really wanted to talk about was, you know, like, I guess, like, my experience with therapy, and AA, because I went to AA for absolutely no reason. I mean, I'll get into that, you know, later in the video, but, you know, part of me is kind of glad that I never took any sort of, like, I guess, you know, antidepressants, Adderall, things like that, because, first off, you know, I think there's always that default state that, like, with any drug, anything ever, you know, drugs, alcohol, there's always that default state that you come back to, you know, like, you can only stay high for so long until you just come right back down to who you are. You know, I know all these people say, oh, just change your mindset, bro, you know, thinking you could just flip a switch and your brain will completely change. It's really no different than telling someone with autism, hey, bro, just be normal, bro, and change your mindset, bro. It's not going to happen, you know, like, I think everyone's brain processes things differently. You know, we all have basic understandings of, like, you know, survival, food, procreate, things like that we understand. But I think everyone's brain processes things differently. And there's so many copers who go, oh, but genes don't determine your life, bro. Your upbringing. And I don't believe in nurture anymore, you know, because I had this thought the other day, you know, like I said, everyone's brain processes things differently. Like, if you put 10 people, let's say 5 women, 5 men, you gave them my exact same life, literally everything identical, they had to go through it exactly identical, I can guarantee you their brains would process each situation completely fucking differently, resulting in different outcomes, you know? Because, like, you even look at it, like, you hear this shit all the time where you're like, oh, wow, you know, little Timmy, he grew up in such an abusive household, and he became a serial killer. But you look at little Johnny, he grew up in the exact same abusive household, and, you know, he became a successful millionaire businessman. It's like, and these copers go, I wonder why. It's because they have different brain chemistry. Like, if one of those dudes was born schizophrenic, I can guarantee you, if they had the same fucking life, it would be completely different. You know, different genes, a different life. I really don't believe in nurture anymore, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny too, because, like, my mom, she says shit all the time, like, oh, I raised you better, I didn't raise a loser or a pussy, or she's always blaming me. She's always like, oh, you know, your generation's so soft, you're the weakest person, you know, and she always, like, gaslights, like, oh, poor baby, your life is so hard. It's like, I'm not even doing anything. I'll just come home from work and she'll, like, just start making fun of me for no fucking reason. Like, it just doesn't even make any sense, you know. But, you know, and it's funny, you know, I was thinking this too, and I think I've said this once before, like, why the reason why, you know, my generation is probably, you know, quote unquote, like, fucked up in the head and all this bullshit. I had this fucking idea that, you know, because I really don't know, like, even, like, the friends I used to have, like, most of their mothers had them when they were in their late 30s, early 40s. You know, my grandparents had my parents in their 20s, you know, early 20s. And even my mom, she had me at, like, what, 38, like, almost 40, I think. So, I mean, the later you have your kid, I don't really think, you know, that's too good. But, yeah, parents definitely are completely clueless when raising, especially because my mom, she's a single mom. She just has no idea. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm not even joking, she will send me, like, motivational quotes, red pill shit, like, how to be alpha, it's like, listen, I've been through that fucking phase before when I was in high school, that whole red pill bullshit. Oh, be alpha, hold frame, dude. Like, I used to be, like, super deep into that shit. It's a bunch of crap. Like, it really is. You either have it or don't. Like, you can't, like, this is the thing too with like those MGTOW dudes. Those guys, oh my god, they were all sent their own way. You look at that community, all those dudes, I'm telling you, they're either all old, the Norwood Reaper snatched their hairline off of their head, you know, and they're like, oh, well, and this is what most guys have wrong. They think, oh, like what most sub 5 dudes have wrong, like, oh, everyone treats me like scum. That means everyone's a toxic and blah, 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 blah. But you got to realize they're only doing that to you. And I've seen it firsthand with both men and women, you know, where they'll treat you like shit, and then all of a sudden someone they like walks in the room and they just fucking change completely, and you're like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're like, what the hell? It's like, who is this person? They start acting as, oh, hey, what's up? You know, I mean, I've seen it like with women. They'll fucking treat you like scum, and then they see a cute guy, they like, oh my god, hey, they'll just change completely, and you're like, wait, what? You know, so it's not that they're mean in general. They're only mean to you. You know, that's what these dudes, oh, this toxic generation. It's like, they're only fucking toxic to you because the Norwood Reaper just snatched your hairline, you know, and you're just not good looking anymore. No one gives a fuck about you anymore. Like, you know, you ain't no Justin Bieber. Like, no one cares, you know. But basically what I've been doing now, like, especially with work, because, like, it's just, people don't give a fuck. Being a nice guy, like, going out of your way to do things is just the worst thing you can do. But also, being a douchebag is the worst thing you can do. So it really doesn't necessarily make a difference. But if you are a douche, people are going to be like, oh, see? It is his attitude. He is a douchebag. Because, like, you know, for some stupid reason, I keep thinking that, like, you know, if I do good to these people at work, if I, like, go above and beyond, that, like, I'll get rewarded for it. But meanwhile, I'm watching these dudes who don't do shit, who fucking... And this is the thing, too. Like, even before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas, I bought everyone lottery tickets, like those dollar scratch-offs. I've bought people pizza before. You know, I drove this girl home for a week because, like, her sister was sick, and I was like, sure. Like, I do kind shit and get no reward for it. You know, absolutely nothing for it. I know people cope by saying, oh, just don't expect anything in return. It's like, well, why would someone be mean to you if you're giving them a gesture? Like, it doesn't, you know. So I've pretty much been, like, thinking, like treating everybody now like they're out to get me. And I used to think that, because people used to tell me that, like, oh, bro, everyone's out to get me, you know, like, all that shit. And I used to think, like, you're paranoid. Like, no one's out to get you. Like, there are good people, but honestly, it's highly probable now, because, like, I can't remember the last time I've really had, like, a good human interaction with somebody where they, like, seemed interested to talk to me, you know, except for, I mean, actually, the only people that are nice to me at my workplace are the people that, like, they work in the fucking warehouse, and they're, like, super, like, the autistic dudes are really nice to me. Like, the people that, like, need disability, because there's people that work at my job that actually need disability. And they're the only people nice to me. Everyone else is just, all the other normies are just fucking, I mean, even, can you believe this new manager they hired, this guy? I heard him in every aisle, he was asking, everyone was putting shit away. I was putting shit away, and I heard it because this motherfucker's so loud. He sounds like that Polar Express nerdy kid, or like the Rick and Morty, like the Morty character. He's like, hey man, you know, and he stutters a lot, and it's just like, and I found out the only reason why he's working, he basically, I was supposed to take his job, but one of the people, like, it's kind of complicated, one of the people that does deliveries, it's like his son, and, like, they're friends with the owner, and blah blah, all this shit. So they gave him the manager position, even though he doesn't know anything at all, and all this shit. But I heard him asking, he's like, hey man, you know, this weekend I'm gonna go to the club. That's exactly how he sounds. And I'm just hearing him ask everybody, hey man, I'm going to the club, you wanna come to the club with me? And all this shit, exchanging numbers, all this garbage. And, like, then next, like, I'm standing next to him, and I just like look at him, and he's like, you know, just not saying anything, putting shit on the shelf, then walks away. I'm like, okay, I guess he's not gonna ask me to go to the club then. Like, what the, it's not like I would want to go anyway, but, like, what the fuck? You ask everybody in the store except for me. I'm standing next to you, I hear you fucking 10 times in a row, hey man, you wanna go to the club? Wanna go to the club? Hey, you wanna go to the club? you stand next to me and you just don't say anything. I'm like, all right, like, whatever. You know, it's just fucking, like, it sucks, because I just got, like, self-conscious. I was like, oh, fuck, you know. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it just fucking sucks. It really does. But, yeah, like, I've been treating people like they're just out to get me and shit, like, and just treating everyone as hostile, because it just, for some reason, like, people just don't like talking to me, all that. So I just need to learn how to be more selfish and narcissistic. And of course, the second I do that, normies are gonna swarm in. Oh, see, bro, it's your personality. You know, you're selfish, you're narcissistic, bro. See, it's your personality. It almost reminds me of, like, that like, fucking Adam Sandler movie. What was that one where, I think it was Anger Management with Jack Nicholson, where, like, there's that scene where he's sitting on the plane, and the lady, like, that shit happened the other day at Walmart, because I've been sleeping in my car, because I can't fucking stand my mom at all. I mean, with this whole Christmas bullshit and everything that happened, like, I've been sleeping in my car every couple days, because I just don't even want to. And this is the funny part. It's like, it's actually brought me peace. I'm not even joking. Like, I actually feel, like, so much better. You know, that's why I'm able to fucking record this right now, because I'm away from that shit. I'm by myself. I don't have to deal with, hey man, you know, just fucking all these people and all this shit. But I went to go get one of those things for my car. I have it right now. That you put your phone, you put it on the mirror and you put your phone in it. And I was at Walmart the other day, and this fucking dude behind the counter, like in the electronics department. And so the thing was in the glass, and I approached this dude. He looked like that fucking one of those Duck Dynasty dudes. He was this old manlet, long hair. He had a hat on, and I approached him and I said, you know, because there's 10 people on the line. I just, like, went, because there was no one else there, and I'm like, can you help me open up can you open the thing for me so I can, because there's something I want in there. And he goes, can't you see there's a line? I'm like, yeah, I know. Just, like, you know, when you're ready, when you're done, can you help me? And this fucking lady to my right, she goes, you're an asshole, this fucking Italian lady. And I turn to my right, I'm like, and I just, like, because everyone was looking at me, like, and the look that all these fucking people gave me, these 10 people gave me, it's almost like a bunch of deer, like, staring at you, like, when you're driving by, where they're just fucking looking at you, or, like, walking by, and, like, all the deer, they just have, like that like their brain, like, 0 IQ look. And I'm just, like, looking, and I, like, it was, like, silent for 3 seconds. Then I looked at the dude, and I was like, what, me? And the lady's like, yeah, you're an asshole. And I was like, how am I an asshole? Like, what? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. And the dude, he goes, it's your attitude. And I'm like, what attitude? Like, what the? He's like, that one right there. And then that shit sent me from 0 to 100. And I was just like, dude, you're just the biggest because, like, I get it. Like, if this dude's being a douche, like, you know, the age pill has collected. You know, you're probably getting cheated on. Your kids hate you, if you even have any. It's like, I get it. You're working at Walmart. Like, I understand, you know, it's over for you. And that's why you're a douchebag, you know. But so I walked out, ended up going to Best Buy, and thank God I walked out, because I got a fucking way better deal for that shit at Best Buy. But, you know, it's just, like, things like that, and then it ruins my day, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it doesn't matter if you're kind or a dickhead, because there's so many problems I have when I go to stores and ask for things. Like, there's always just some stupid problem, and then they get mad at me, and then I'm like, and then they're like, oh, I refuse to, like, help you because you're being mean, and I'm like, how? I don't even understand, like, what I did wrong. I literally don't understand shit. Like, that whole interaction, like, I actually was fucking puzzled. I couldn't even, I was just thinking about it the whole day. I was like, I was fucking weird, you know? Like, I even had this one dude at the dollar store. This was, like, last year. I don't know why, like, I just thought of this, but, like, this guy, I was with my one friend at the time, and, like, he was, like, I don't know if he was on drugs or something, whatever the fuck, but, like, he stopped me, and he, like, it was just me and him, me, this black dude, and my friend, and he goes, it was like, where are you from? Like, what country are you from? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, yes, you are. You're from a country. And I was like, I don't know. I think, like, I'm Irish. And he's like, okay, never come back around here. And he had, like, bug eyes, and it was just fucking weird. I'm like, okay. And then I just felt uncomfortable. the whole time. And like, as I was leaving the store, he was just standing there. I'm like, dude, it's just like so weird. Like, I don't know, man. But anyway, with the whole therapy shit, what I really like, keep fucking, holding off and just talking about other shit, but around the month of April and May of last year, so I guess 2022, I went on like a really big therapy binge because my mom, oh God, every day, you're sick in the head, you need therapy, you need that, just because I was sitting inside all day. I mean, the only benefit a job really has is like, it's a good cope for me, because like everything else is bullshit, and because I've been trying to read, I still work out, like I have to do that shit, because like I just refuse to look like shit, physically, like my body, my face, it just stays the same, like it really doesn't matter with that, but reading, coping with waking up at the same time and taking cold showers, all that type of stuff, and it just doesn't work. Like there's always that constant reminder that you're just a lonely piece of shit, and that's just over. But anyway, she would always tell me, oh, you're mentally ill, you're sick, and like she would tell me like, oh, if this therapist doesn't fix you, we're gonna find another one, and if that one doesn't fix you, we're gonna find another one until they fix you. And it's like, therapy will never work for people like me at all. Seriously, like it'll actually never ever work for me. I mean, I guess if you're a high tier normie who you're a complete mental cell, you sit inside all day, and like the therapist spits some lines, that's written on his notes, then maybe it'll work, but I mean, I even remember in middle school, or I think it was like at the beginning of high school, I had this therapist lady who told me, she would always go, okay, like some people do that where they go, okay, or they have like that weird thing that they do like at the end of sentences. And she would tell me like, okay, the first thing you have to do is accept that your life is in your control, and everything that you do is, she said like some shit like, oh, it's all your fault. I can't even believe like I told myself that. Like I would gaslight myself and be like, oh yeah, it's my fault. The reason why my life is so bad is because it's my fault. And that's like just a recent thing that I stopped doing, saying it's my fault, because you can only say that shit for so long until it makes absolutely no sense. Like if you're getting rejected 40 times and like you're doing everything right, it starts to not make any fucking sense at all. How is it fucking my fault? Like the story of my life really is, I guess, if you're barely passing a class, you're working really hard and you got the final exam, you got to get at least a C on the exam, and you study harder than all the fucking kids in the class and you get a D on it, even though you needed a C, and the teacher goes, oh, didn't study hard enough, your fault. Didn't try hard enough, your fault. Oh, well. And you're like, wait, what? It's like, I did fucking try. What are you talking about? I think that's why I'm so fucking depressed. It's because, like, if I knew deep down that I'd be rewarded for my hard work, I'd probably, like, if I knew deep down that if it worked, like, jester maxing and buying a girl flowers, like, I had a fucking life coach, this couple, tell me that when I was in high school. They told me, if you buy a girl flowers, and this is no fucking joke, if you buy a girl flowers, she's gonna appreciate you and think it's a kind gesture, and she's gonna want to go out with you. Like, it's just, how the fuck? I don't know how people just don't, like, laugh at shit like that and think it's, like, legitimate. I don't understand that. Oh my god, it's just so funny. But yeah, if I knew it worked deep down, then I'd do it. But like, I know this shit ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It's like going to the gym for 5 years and you have the right diet plan, you have the right everything, and you make absolutely no progress, and you're like, shit, I just worked hard for nothing. That's just how I feel, because everything is about luck. The people that quote unquote work hard get mad when people say that, oh, life is all about luck. And they go, no, I worked hard. Yeah, you probably worked hard, but you got lucky enough to be where you're at. I mean, let's say, for example, 30 students graduate Harvard. They spend 8 years in fucking Harvard, busting their fucking nutsack off to the floor. Norwood Reaper stealing their hairlines. The hairlines are taking vacations every fucking year. Like the hair follicles are just taking vacations every fucking month. They're all busting their asses off and work just as hard as one another, but they're all competing for a job that's open only once every year. They're competing for it, and you know, only one of them is going to get the job, you know, only one of them is going to get lucky. The others are going to be like, fuck, it's over. You know, I did all that hard work, didn't get that job. Fuck, you know, competed for it, didn't get so lucky, you know. So yes, you did work hard, but you still got lucky, you know. That's just like that's what people don't really understand about luck. You know, it's like, yeah, you worked hard, but you got lucky. Because how many fucking people do you know that have dedicated their lives to something, but fucking ended up nowhere? I mean, you even see it like with those TikTok, like those failed chads on TikTok, like they bust their asses off, like buy all this like expensive shit, try to like, same with like those Twitch streamers, and they just never make it. They just don't have, like, it's just over. They work really hard and they get nowhere, you know. But yeah, I can't, going back to like, you know, my mom, she's just clueless and has no idea. And this is the thing, never talk about the black pill with anybody at all, basically. Not even your parents. I mean, even when I first got black pilled, I tried telling her like all this shit, like the reason why my life blows, and she goes, "You're mentally ill, you're sick in the head." Like she threatened to call whoever the fuck on me. Like, I've been to a psych ward before. That shit is fucking scary. Like, they have your life in their hands. They can do whatever they want. You gotta stand in front of a judge to see if they're gonna release you. You don't want to end up there, you know. And like, it's just, and the thing too, like, even when I was there those few times, they would always say, "You don't even belong here," you know. But yeah, I've done it all with therapy, really. Like, I've seen male therapists, female therapists, nothing really notable about it, like nothing really bad about it, but the fact that they would just say the most fucking absurd shit. Like this dude, I'll never forget this fucking guy last year who told me to brighten up my wardrobe, because I'd come in like the same hoodie and shorts, black hoodie and black shorts. Brighten up your wardrobe and people will be more inviting to talk to you, and, you know, all this shit. I even had a therapist call me selfish, and like, so, like, it's just, I don't know, it just won't work for me, you know. Same thing with, I mean, you know, with what I was gonna talk about, like Adderall, antidepressants, things like that. I had a friend who let me try Adderall. He gave me like a couple tablets. I would take, I think, like 20 milligrams, or I think I only had like maybe a few days worth, but that shit, man. First off, I couldn't piss. Like, I had to like push to piss. Like, for some reason, like, it was just really hard to piss. What other weird shit? I couldn't sleep. And it literally just made me like just super euphoric. Like, I remember it was around this time last year, I was just like fucking nodding off on the couch, like just like, holy fuck, you know? Like, I remember I was like taking down or putting up the Christmas ornaments, I can't remember. And I had to like sit down on the couch, and like my head was going back. I was like, holy fuck, you know. No wonder people get addicted to things like that. And, you know, with ADHD, because that's what Adderall is for, ADHD, I don't really buy it because, you know, I've been told many times I have ADHD. Oh, can't focus, don't find anything interesting. It's like, that just might be who you are. I mean, if you take your kid to play a bunch of sports and he finds all the sports boring, you're not going to be like, oh my God, he's got ADHD, he finds everything uninteresting and can't focus, he needs Adderall, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't think you're going to do that. Like, you wouldn't do that for someone who enjoys everything. Like, oh, he enjoys everything, let's put him on a pill, like shit like that. So, I don't know, but alcohol is a completely different story, which, I mean, it's kind of funny because my whole entire family, well, first off, hates me now because my mom's a fucking idiot. But on my dad's side, everyone's an alcoholic, including my father, which is why I think, first off, my tolerance levels are extremely high. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I wish I could remember what happened, but for some fucking reason, on Christmas Eve, I started drinking, and then it just went on to the day after on Christmas, and then the day after that. But it was like, and I was supposed to go to work, and I didn't call out, didn't do anything, and like, God, it was fucking bad. Like, I guess, I mean, I don't remember shit. And this is how extreme the cope is. My mom didn't know I was drunk at all on Christmas, or the day after, but she thought I was having a mental breakdown or something, and basically, next thing I know, I'm in the hospital, and the conversation we had after it, basically on the car ride, because I got discharged right away the next day. But on the car ride home, my mom goes, she's like, oh, why couldn't you be like a normal kid? Why couldn't you, get a good college degree and get a normal job and have friends and, get a girl? Why couldn't you be a normal kid? And then she starts comparing me to all her friends' kids and shit and, all that. And it's just like, it's over, there's just like, there's no way I'm going to live a life like that. It's just, it is what it is. No amount of whatever can change that. It sucks. But, my blood alcohol levels supposedly were near fatal. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, the next day, the nurse said to me, it was this bald black lady. She had like a buzzed head, this nurse, and she goes, I've never seen anyone with blood alcohol levels that high that was able to form a coherent sentence. And it's funny because like my blood alcohol levels, I think it was 0.37, like the first, like when I was admitted to the hospital, 0.37. And, and when my blood alcohol levels were falling, she's like, I don't know how you fucking are able to not slur your words and all this. And then she's like, most alcoholics, would be fucking like completely out of it. Most alcoholics would probably die around this fucking this blood alcohol range. And then she starts talking to me about like, oh, you have prior alcohol abuse, anyone in your family disposed to alcohol, it could be genetic, of course, genetic. But my alcohol tolerance is really high, which isn't a good thing, by the way. And I'm nowhere near an alcoholic. This is the funny thing. My mom, I don't know why the fuck she thinks that therapy and all these fucking stupid cope, because I know it's all a cope. Like, it really won't help me. The only person that can help you is you, I'm really wanting to move out of here and just get the fuck out of here, because I've never met someone so clueless before, just with their kid. I mean, if you have a sub-5 male as a parent, like, you just can't really, the kid's got to cope himself. You can't fucking force all this bullshit on him, But, oh, yeah, the fucking voicemail I got from my uncle, and then he called me. He first he left me a voicemail. He's like, oh, I can't believe you got drunk on Christmas for your mother, and, how could you do that? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. And then, when he called me, my cousin goes, and this shit, oh my God. Like, I actually had to hang up the phone. My cousin goes, and keep in mind, this motherfucker, he's like 5 inches taller than me. He's in college. I know he has a girlfriend, but he basically goes, he's like, hey man, I heard what happened, and all I gotta tell you, bro, it's like, trust me, working out, bro, is gonna be a lifesaver for you. I've heard that shit so many times this year, work out, bro, and it's like, I already am. Like, it's like telling someone who's drinking water, hey bro, trust me, you gotta drink water, bro, it's gonna save your mental health, bro, and you're drinking the water. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I am, that's just so aggravating. But yeah, and don't listen to people like that. This motherfucker is basically on vacation. If you think about it, he's in his fucking dorm room. He goes to college. Like, really, he's got a girl. What really is that hard? It's really no different than a boss walking in, who comes into his job once a year and goes, gaslights everyone. Oh, you guys, this looks like shit. Oh, fix it. It's all your fault. You're garbage. Work on yourself. And then walks out thinking he fucking knows everything. Like, these normies, these people who give you this meme advice, don't know shit about your life. They give you this gaslight advice because they think it's funny, or they're just clueless. I noticed that human nature, many people want to see others fail. They don't want to see anyone succeed at all. Like, people, like, these normies really get off on it. Like, people fucking failing in life, they like, get off on it, and they fucking think it's, like, the best shit ever and the funniest shit ever. Like, it's just fucking sick, like, but I had to hang up the phone. I'm like, the fucking clueless. You are so clueless, Even the family gathering, my mom canceled it because of that and then put it back on, and my family, it was just so awkward. I literally went to the bathroom. I was sitting in there for like 40 minutes because I didn't want to, because they were all like, it was just, I can't even, no one really even said anything. They were all just looking at me, and I heard them talking, like, when I was sitting in the bathroom, they were whispering, like, oh, is he drinking? I'm not a fucking drunk, and I went to AA because my mom, she always, that's the reason I went to therapy too, is because she was like, I'm going to kick you out if you don't go. So I went to AA, And let me tell you, I'm nowhere near an alcoholic. These guys, let me tell you, I think I'm a loser. These guys are fucking, can't even compare. And it's like, what am I even gonna, I don't need some dude to tell me not to put a drink to my mouth. Like, it makes no sense. Like, how can you not, I don't understand how you cannot control drinking. That's like what I don't understand. And, these guys, the only dude that was cool was this one dude. He was like a former lawyer, and his wife died or some shit, like to cancer, and like he started drinking, and that's how he lost his job. That was the only dude who was cool. It was all middle-aged men, by the way. I was the youngest one in there. It was in this classroom at this high school near my house, and I had to walk out because it was all a bunch of cope. Like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, this is just not for me. Like, what can they possibly do? And like, my mom's so blue-pilled. Oh, they're gonna help you. I fucking help myself. I don't need some fucking dude. Like, I really don't need some douchebag telling me not to put a fucking drink to my mouth. You know, I could do that shit myself. Fucking stupid, man. I'm a lot mentally stronger than people give me credit for. I swear to God. But yeah, it's just, Christmas was a fucking disaster. I really just don't remember shit because of how fucking hammered I was. But I mean, so far, I haven't drank at all. It's been like, what, a week maybe? And it's just, I have no problem at all. At all, I really don't, you know? And again, like, how the fuck can you, like, I know exactly why, like, once you're this fucking black-pilled, everything is so predictable. Like, I know why all those old cells are fucking drinking in the AA. It's like, I know. You know, you think if you were 20-year-old Prime Stacy, you'd be getting hammered all night and would be able to, you know, not control yourself. Like, no. Like, these guys are just so clueless. Oh, I'm drinking because... It's like, no, dude, like... like, they just have no idea. Like, and what would I even say? I'd give the most fucking black-pilled answer, and everyone would be like, oh. It's just fucking stupid to me. I don't know. But I'm looking for another job, because this job ain't it. It just, the hours... they cut my hours, and, you know, it's just... At least I have more time to myself. Like, I've been chilling the past few days, just, like, I went to the movies by myself. Like, they give me like 2 days off now, which I guess is okay, but I've just been like in my car just driving around to places and just chilling out. You know, I don't gotta deal with shit at home. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But yeah, people really do make shit a lot worse. But the thing that blows is that the way our brains are structured and how we operate is loneliness doesn't give you a dopamine hit. When you're lonely and depressed, it's your brain telling you, dude, your life needs to change, but it can't. Like, you're forced in this state and you can't really do much about it, you know? Like, if there's a pill that could give you a dopamine hit when you're lonely, it wouldn't be no one would be angry and depressed anymore about being alone, you know? But at the same time, it's just like, it just sucks. You know, if humans were an asexual species, it would be so easy to live. For me, at least, you know. But yeah, it sucks that we are, our brain chemistry has control over us and all the bullshit we do, you know. No free will for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been like a blur this past like few weeks, especially Christmas. Like I said, I just really don't remember shit. The only memories I really have of like Christmas are like sitting in the hospital bed and this lady telling me that like that shit, you know, that I was coherent. My mom telling me, oh, you need to go to AA, you know, going to that shit. And, you know, that's really all I remember. I'm not going to AA. That's fucking, I really don't need it. I don't need therapy either. I just need more copes. You know, I've been trying to like play more video games and shit. Because, like, I really don't even know what to do anymore. Because they keep giving me, like I said, they keep cutting my hours. And I'm like, okay, now what the fuck do I do? I'll be sitting home. I've been trying to, like, go out to, like, places. Like, I went fucking mini golfing by myself the other day. Like, just doing shit by myself. But, yeah, that's pretty much it.